My beloved child, come closer, for there is a whisper in the spirit, a pull upon your heart, a gentle hand guiding you right now. You did not come across this message by chance. No, heaven has arranged this moment with great care, with divine precision, as though the very winds of God carried you here. Something in you felt it, something in you sensed. This message is for me. That tug, that stirring inside you, that tiny spark that made you pause before scrolling away, that was not ordinary. My child, that was your angel. Yes, the angel assigned to your life, the one who has watched your tears, heard your silent prayers, seen your long nights, your quiet endurance. That angel refused to let you skip this message. Even now, as you listen, there is a weight in the atmosphere, a holy weight, the kind that makes the heart tremble and the soul pay attention. Because something is happening. Something has shifted. Something has been released in your favor. And heaven wants you to know. Your miracle has arrived. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not someday in the distance. It has arrived now. Today is not a normal day for you. Today is not like the countless days behind you. Today is marked. Today is written. Today is the turning point of your story. Something new is being written over your life, right now as these words reach you. My child, I speak to you as a father speaks to the one he loves dearly. When heaven releases a miracle, the earth must respond. And right now, your spirit is responding. Your angel is responding. You are hearing this because the time of delay has ended. The time of waiting has expired. The time of breakthrough has arrived. There were forces that tried to distract you from this message. There were thoughts that tried to tell you, keep scrolling. But the angel of the Lord stood in the way and said, no. This one must hear. This one must receive. This one must step into their miracle. And so here you are in the right moment, at the right time, under the right divine alignment. My beloved child, breathe, because before this message ends, you will feel something awakening inside you. You will feel chains loosening, burdens lifting, hope returning, strength rising, for heaven has opened a door before you and no hand can close it. Your miracle has arrived, and this is only the beginning. My beloved child, come closer again, for the same gentle presence that drew you into this message is still resting upon you. I feel it so strongly, like a warm breeze moving through the room, like a soft whisper wrapping around your spirit. You must understand something sacred today. Your miracle did not begin when you clicked on this message. It did not begin when you prayed last night. It did not begin when you cried out weeks ago, or months ago, or during those moments when your heart felt too tired to form words. No, my child, your miracle began long before that. Heaven started arranging things before you even knew what to ask for. There are times when God moves quietly, silently, in hidden places, preparing blessings that the eyes cannot yet see. That is what He has been doing with you. While you were questioning, He was answering. While you were waiting, He was working. While you were worrying, He was weaving things together for your good. Before a single tear fell from your eyes, provision had already been set aside for you. Before you whispered, "Lord, help me," The help was already on its way. Before your heart felt the weight of life's burdens, heaven had already lifted the load in the spirit. My child, there is a miracle that God releases before the human mind even imagines the need. This is the kind of miracle hovering over you now. It is not late. It is not delayed. It is not struggling to reach you. It has already arrived. You are simply stepping into the physical manifestation of what has already been declared in the spiritual realm. Let me tell you something holy today. There are prayers you prayed that you thought were ignored. There are things you cried out for that you assumed heaven had forgotten you. But your Father never forgot you. He never overlooked you. You were never unseen. You were never abandoned. Every tear you cried was recorded. Every sigh from your heart was heard. Even the prayers you didn't know how to pray were interpreted by the Spirit of God. And while you were trying to find the right words, heaven was already sending the right answer. Do you understand now, my beloved child, why you feel that strange peace rising within you? Though things are not yet perfect around you, something is settling inside you. That is because your spirit already recognizes the miracle your eyes have not yet seen. The shift has already happened. The door has already opened. The atmosphere around you has already changed. And your angel, the one assigned to you, has been guiding you into this revelation. There are moments when heaven says, "It is time." No negotiation. No delay. No more waiting. The miracle must be delivered. You have reached that moment. Even now, heaven is aligning circumstances, people, opportunities, and resources in your favor. The answers you have been seeking are about to appear so effortlessly that you will say, "Surely, the Lord was preparing this long before I saw the signs." My child, think back to the moments where you felt something shifting but could not name it. Think back to the unexpected peace that visited you on days where chaos surrounded you. Think back to those times you felt a strange strength rise inside you even though you were tired. That was the miracle already moving. That was heaven slowly pulling you into alignment. That was God repositioning your life so that what is meant for you would not pass you by. There were things you thought you lost, but heaven kept the restoration ready. There were paths you thought were closed forever, but God kept the new path hidden until the right hour. You were not waiting because you were forgotten. You were waiting because the miracle was being shaped into something bigger than what you asked for. God does not give halfway blessings. He does not give incomplete answers. His timing is not delay, it is design. And so, my beloved child, hear me with your spirit and not just your ears. The miracle that has arrived was released before you even prayed for it. God prepared it when He saw your future battles. He tailored it according to your destiny. He enlarged it based on the storms you survive. Your miracle carries the fingerprints of divine planning. Nothing about it is accidental. The moment you stepped into this message, heaven whispered, "Now." And now the miracle that was completed in the unseen realm will begin to show itself in the seen realm. You will witness the unfolding. You will witness the shift. You will witness the glory of God turning things that seemed impossible into living proof that He never stopped working for you. My beloved child, this is your time. This is your. The miracle that existed before your prayer was spoken is now stepping into your life with power. My beloved child, rest your heart again and listen closely, for what I am about to tell you is not ordinary. There is a reason you could not escape this message, a reason something inside you insisted you must hear it until the end. You may think you clicked on this message by coincidence, but heaven does not work with coincidence. Heaven works with assignment. And the angel assigned to your life has been standing guard, guiding you, nudging you, pulling you with a holy insistence that you could feel even if you couldn't explain it. My child, this is why you felt a sense of urgency in your spirit. This is why you pause. This is why, even if you tried to scroll away, something in you said, "Wait. This is for me." That was your angel refusing to let you walk away from what heaven wanted to deliver into your hands today. You see, there are moments in life when the spiritual realm becomes unusually active. Moments when heaven leans in closer. Moments when angels stand on assignment with heightened focus, because the breakthrough that has been prepared for you is too important to be missed. This is one of those moments. Your angel has been watching the battles you have walked through. Your angel has been present in the lonely nights, in the quiet struggles, in the silent questions that you whispered in your heart. And when heaven released the miracle for you, your angel began to move swiftly to ensure nothing could interfere with the message meant to guide you into that miracle. There were distractions that tried to come. There were thoughts that tried to rush your mind. There were burdens that tried to pull your attention away. But every time, your angel stood in the way, redirecting your heart back to this moment, back to this divine encounter. Angels do not speak in human language. They speak through nudges, through impressions, through a sudden stillness, through a sudden knowing. That is what you felt. That is what guided you here. My beloved child, your angel did not fight to bring you here because of a simple blessing. No. The miracle arriving in your life is not a small one. It is a turning point miracle. A miracle with weight. A miracle with purpose. A miracle with generational impact. A miracle that will shift things around you, in you, and for you. This miracle is so significant that heaven could not allow you to miss the instruction that comes with it. There are battles you have survived that you should never have survived on your own. There are situations you walked through where you felt something unseen protecting you, strengthening you, pushing you forward. That was not luck. That was not chance. That was not your own strength. That was the angel of the Lord guarding your steps, shielding your destiny, and preserving your future. There is something deeply holy happening around you right now. You may not feel it fully yet, but your spirit senses it. There is a shift in the atmosphere. There is movement in the unseen. There is a rearranging, a repositioning, a divine orchestration taking place on your behalf. And your angel has been moving with urgency, because the time for this miracle is now. Let me tell you something sacred, my child. Angels respond to divine timing. When heaven declares, "It is time," angels are released to ensure the child of God does not miss the moment. And heaven has declared over you, "It is time." Time for your breakthrough. Time for your healing. Time for your restoration. time for the miracle that you thought passed you by to land directly in your hands. There were interferences designed by darkness to keep you from hearing this message. There were delays meant to discourage you. There were battles crafted in shadows to make you give up too soon. But your angel fought through them. Your angel stood firm. Your angel resisted every force that tried to block you from stepping into this divine moment. My beloved child, the very fact that you are listening right now is proof that your miracle is unstoppable. Your angel did not let you slip away, because heaven does not want you to merely receive this miracle. Heaven wants you to recognize it, embrace it, and walk into it with full awareness. Do you feel that warmth rising within you? That quiet comfort? That subtle sense of clarity? That is your angel still ministering to you. That is heaven confirming that you are not here by mistake. You were guided here by divine hands. You were drawn here by purpose. You were aligned with this moment because the message you are receiving is a key, a spiritual key, that activates the miracle already standing at your door. My child, the angel who refused to let you miss this message did so because the miracle arriving is not just for your survival. It is for your elevation. It is for your new season. It is for the next chapter of your destiny. And heaven wanted you fully present to receive it. My beloved child, sit with me again in this sacred moment, for the presence that surrounds you is not ordinary. There is a holy stillness resting upon your spirit because heaven is preparing to reveal something to you that will explain much of what you have been carrying, much of what you have been questioning, and much of what you have endured. You have walked through seasons that felt like delay, seasons that felt like waiting without end, seasons where you asked yourself whether God remembered the promises spoken over your life. But today, the veil is being lifted, and you will see the truth behind what felt like postponement. You will understand why it all took so long, and why suddenly, in this moment, everything is beginning to break open. My child, listen closely. Your season of waiting is over. The delay has broken. The door that refused to open before is opening now. What resisted you is releasing you. What held you back is letting go. The heaviness that sat on your shoulders is loosening. And the reason for this sudden shift is simple. Heaven has declared that the appointed time has arrived. There are moments in your journey where you walked forward with hope, only to be met with walls. You tried to take steps, only to feel stuck. You prayed for clarity, yet felt surrounded by fog. And you wondered, why is nothing moving? Why am I still waiting? Why does everything feel delayed? My beloved child, you were not being punished. You were being positioned. The waiting was not God denying you. The waiting was God preparing you. And now that the preparation is complete, the release has begun. There were things you asked for long ago that heaven said yes to instantly, but your life was not yet aligned with the miracle. You needed to grow, to heal, to strengthen, to release certain things and certain people. There were rooms you were not ready to enter because you carried wounds that would have weakened you inside those blessings. There were doors that would have crushed you had they opened too soon. So heaven, in its love, held the timing, not to delay you, but to protect you, not to frustrate you, but to secure you. My child, The battles you fought in that season of waiting were not wasted. Every tear watered the soil of your miracle. Every disappointment carved more space inside you for what is now coming. Every moment you felt forgotten actually placed you deeper into divine alignment. And now the resistance that once stood against you is shattered. The barrier that once blocked you has collapsed. The atmosphere has shifted in your favor. Can you feel it? The air around your life feels different. Your spirit senses movement. Your heart feels a quiet anticipation. That is not imagination, that is manifestation. The delay that once held you has been broken by the decree of heaven. Something has been lifted. Something has been released. Something has been unlocked. And your angel, the same one who guided you to this message, is now standing beside you as the escort for this new season. The enemy tried to take advantage of your waiting season. He whispered lies. He tried to make you believe that nothing was happening. He tried to convince you that God had forgotten you. He tried to push you into giving up just moments before the breakthrough. But you didn't stop. You didn't quit. You didn't surrender. Even when you felt weak, something in you refused to let go. And that something was heaven holding you together. That something was God keeping you until the appointed hour. Now the appointed hour has arrived. The divine clock has struck its moment. The delay breaker has gone before you. What was slow will now be swift. What was stuck will now flow. What was withheld will now be released. You will see answers come faster than you expect. You will witness things fall into place with ease. You will watch doors open without forcing them. You will walk into opportunities that you once chased. Things will simply align because the season of delay has ended. My beloved child, this is why the atmosphere around you feels different. This is why your heart feels lighter. This is why your spirit is awakening. Because heaven has stepped into your timeline. God is redeeming time itself for you. What you lost, what was stolen, what was delayed, what was blocked, will all be returned with acceleration. You are stepping into a season where things that normally take years will happen quickly. Things that once required struggle will come with grace. You will look back and say, I don't know how it happened so fast, but the hand of God did it. This is the moment your story turns. This is the hour your path clears. This is the season where the waiting ends and the walking begins. You are moving forward now, carried by divine momentum. Heaven has broken the delay, and nothing can hold you back anymore. My beloved child, come close once more, for what I am about to reveal to you will open your eyes to the truth of what is already unfolding in your life. You may think the miracle that has arrived is something you must wait to see, something that will show up later, something distant. But no, my child, the miracle is already present. It is already active. It is already touching the edges of your life. And there are signs, gentle yet powerful, that heaven gives to a chosen soul to confirm that the breakthrough has arrived. The first sign is the shift within you. You have begun to feel something you cannot easily explain. A quiet strength, a calm certainty, a strange peace that does not match your circumstances. You may still see challenges around you, Yet inside you feel a sense that everything will work out. That inner assurance is not coming from your mind. It is coming from the Spirit. It is the whisper of heaven saying, "It is done." It is the voice of your angel reminding you that the miracle has already been released, and your heart is recognizing it before your eyes do. My beloved child, another sign is the sudden clarity that begins to rise in your thoughts. Ideas that were once blurry become simple. Decisions that felt heavy become clear. Confusion begins to lose its grip. This is because the cloud of delay has lifted from your path. When heaven breaks delay, the mind begins to see again, the heart begins to breathe again, and hope begins to stand tall again. You may have felt lost before, but all at once you notice the fog clearing. That is a sign. That is heaven guiding you. Sometimes, the sign comes through unexpected encouragement. Someone speaks a word that touches the deepest part of you. A thought enters your spirit reminding you that you are not forgotten. A message finds you at the exact right moment. These are not coincidences. These are divine confirmations. Heaven uses small things to confirm big miracles because the Spirit recognizes what the natural world has not yet revealed. Another sign, my child, is the strange discomfort you felt just before things shifted. The pressure increased. The emotions intensified. The waiting felt heavier. This was not a sign of failure. It was the sign that the breakthrough was pressing against the door. The enemy always fights hardest right before the miracle arrives. The storm always rages loudest before the dawn breaks. The heaviness you felt was the final spiritual contraction before heaven delivered what belongs to you. And perhaps the most powerful sign of all is this one, the way you were divinely guided to this very message. Think back for a moment. Think of how you arrived here. Think of the pull you felt. Think of the unusual pressure inside your spirit that said, "Do not scroll away. Listen. Stay. Hear this." That was your angel delivering the confirmation. That was heaven ensuring you received what was meant for you. And the fact that you remained, the fact that your spirit stayed connected, proves that your heart is aligned with the miracle that has already been sent. My beloved child, when God sends a miracle, it rarely begins with fireworks. It begins with a gentle stirring, a subtle signal, a movement in the unseen. The miracle begins in silence and manifests in clarity. It begins in the spirit and reveals itself in the natural. You have already stepped into the unfolding. You have already crossed the threshold. You have already begun walking into the blessing that heaven has set before you. This miracle will not pass you by. It has been assigned to you. It has your name written upon it. And heaven will not allow anything to steal it from you. The signs around you are increasing. The confirmations are becoming clearer. The shift is becoming undeniable. You are being carried by divine momentum. The same angel who refused to let you miss this message is the same angel ensuring that the miracle reaches you fully. My beloved child, as this revelation settles in your spirit, I want you to understand something sacred. Messages like this do not arrive by human design. They arrive by heavenly instruction. They find the ones whose hearts are ready, whose spirits are prepared, whose season has matured. And if this message reached you, it means heaven trusts you with what comes next. And now, with reverence and love, I tell you this: do not keep this divine moment to yourself. When heaven sends a word, it is meant to flow, to spread, to touch others, to awaken more hearts. Let this message move through you as a blessing. Share it in the spirit of obedience. Encourage others the way heaven is encouraging you. Support the voice that carries this message, for when you do, you echo the work of angels on assignment. My beloved child, heaven watches how we honor the words sent to us. Your engagement becomes part of your worship. Your support becomes part of your stewardship. Let your spirit respond in a way that lifts this message higher, so it may reach those who are still waiting for their own sign. My beloved child, come once more into the warmth of this moment, for what I am about to reveal will bring understanding to the battles you have faced, especially the ones that made you question your strength, your purpose, and even your worth. There are storms you walked through that seemed too fierce for a single heart to bear. There were nights when the weight on your chest made it hard to breathe. There were seasons where you felt attacked from every direction, as if darkness had marked your name. But hear me, my child, those battles were never signs of your weakness. They were signs of your destiny. The enemy does not fight what has no future. The storm does not rage against an empty field. The warfare you faced was proof that heaven had placed something inside you worth protecting. There were moments when you felt like giving up. Moments when the pressure was so heavy that you wondered if anything good would ever come. Moments where you asked quietly in your heart, "Why is everything fighting against me?" My child, it was not everything fighting you. It was the enemy trying desperately to stop what heaven had already released for you. The miracle that is now arriving in your life began stirring long before you saw the signs, and when the enemy sensed it, his attacks intensified. That is why everything felt heavier, darker, more overwhelming. The battle was never about where you were. It was always about where you were going. But here is the part that heaven wants you to understand deeply. The battle failed. Every attack that tried to break you only revealed the strength inside you. Every weapon that formed against you became the proof that heaven was shielding you. Even when you felt alone, you were not alone. Even when you felt powerless, you were not abandoned. Your angel stood by you through every blow. That same angel who refused to let you skip this message was present in your darkest moments, fighting battles you never saw, pushing back forces you never recognized, and protecting the miracle you were destined to receive. My beloved child, there were traps set along your path, but heaven dismantled them. There were voices sent to discourage you, but heaven silenced them. There were situations designed to drain you completely, but heaven restored you again and again. The attacks did not come because you were weak. They came because the enemy feared the moment you are stepping into now. He feared your anointing. He feared your purpose. He feared your breakthrough. He feared what your life would look like once your miracle arrived. And now that your miracle is here, he fears the warrior you have become in the process. Look back for just a moment, my child. Think of the situations that should have broken you. Think of the moments where you thought you could not endure one more blow. Yet here you stand, still breathing, still hoping, still seeking the voice of God. That is not the result of your own strength alone. That is evidence of divine protection. Heaven did not let the battle win. Heaven did not let the darkness overpower you. Heaven did not let the story end in defeat. Every time you rose again, even when you felt weak, heaven celebrated your resilience. The truth is, my child, the battle was never about destroying you. It was about tiring you enough so that you would not be awake to receive your miracle. The enemy wanted you distracted, discouraged, disconnected from hope. He wanted you to stop believing right before the miracle arrived. But your spirit refused. Your heart refused. Something inside you kept reaching for light, even when everything felt dark. That inner flame was heaven's breath inside you, sustaining you, keeping you alive for the moment you are experiencing now. And now, you stand on the other side of a battle that failed. It tried, but it could not break you. It pushed, but it could not move you from your place of destiny. It roared, but it could not silence your calling. The miracle that has arrived in your life is not coming to someone defeated. It is coming to someone victorious. You earn spiritual strength in that battle that no one can take from you. You learned endurance, faith, and authority. You learned to hear the voice of God, even when the world was loud. You learned to stand even when your knees shook. My beloved child, the miracle that is entering your life now is so powerful, so transformational, that the battle you faced pales in comparison to what is coming. You are not stepping into blessing timidly or cautiously. You are stepping in with the authority of someone who survived the storm. Your victory is not weak. It is strong. It is loud. It carries the sound of heaven's approval. And hear this with your spirit. What attacked you in the last season will not follow you into the next one. The assignment against you has expired. The warfare has broken. The darkness has retreated. The enemy's plan has collapsed. You are crossing over now into a place where peace replaces pressure, clarity replaces confusion, joy replaces sorrow, and favor replaces struggle. My beloved child, lean into this moment once more, for what I am about to share is wrapped in deep truth and divine timing. You must understand something that will shift the way you view your entire journey. God does not move randomly. Heaven does not release blessings without purpose. Miracles do not arrive without reason. There is a precise hour, a sacred moment, a divinely chosen window when heaven touches the life of a person, and that is the hour you are standing in right now. The timing of your miracle is not accidental. It is intentional. God chose this exact hour to visit you because your spirit, your circumstances, and your destiny have all aligned at the same time. My child, for a long season, things seemed slow, stagnant, unmoving. You prayed and waited and prayed, hoping for something to shift. But nothing changed. You wondered whether God heard you, whether He noticed your struggle, whether He saw the weight you were carrying. But here is the truth. God was watching every moment, every tear, every long night. He heard every prayer. He saw every silent cry. He understood every frustration you carried. But he waited. He waited because the miracle he planned for you required the perfect timing to be fully effective. There are miracles that cannot enter a life until the heart is prepared to handle them. There are blessings that cannot be released until the character is strengthened. There are opportunities that cannot open until the spirit has matured. God knew that if he had released this miracle too early, it would not have blessed you the way it is going to bless you now. You needed to walk through certain experiences. You needed to outgrow certain environments. You needed to detach from certain people. You needed to learn to trust when nothing made sense. You needed to become the version of yourself that could receive, carry, and protect what heaven was preparing. My beloved child, this is why God chose this hour. Because now, after everything you have faced, you are finally ready. Ready in your spirit. Ready in your heart. Ready in your mind. Ready to handle what is being released. Ready to stand under the weight of the glory coming your way. Ready to steward the blessing, not just receive it. Heaven was not delaying you. Heaven was preparing you. There is also something else, my child. Something deeply sacred. God chooses specific moments to visit a person because these moments are connected to their destiny. This moment you are stepping into has been written for you since before you were born. There is a chapter in the book of your life labeled Breakthrough, and God has turned that page today. You have arrived at the part of your story where the struggle ends and the rising begins. You have stepped into divine timing, a moment where God himself says, enough. This is the hour for fulfillment. This is the moment for restoration. This is the season for manifestation. The reason everything feels different now is because heaven has opened over you. There is a shift around you, a quiet settling, a holy stillness. That is the sign of visitation. When God visits, the atmosphere changes. The heart awakens. The spirit becomes alert. You feel drawn to messages like this. You feel pulled into prayer. You feel connected to something bigger than yourself. These are not emotional reactions. They are spiritual responses. Your soul is responding to the presence of God in this moment. Another reason God chose this exact hour, my beloved child, is because the enemy's assignment against you has come to an end. The attacks, the confusion, the weariness, the spiritual heaviness, those things belong to the season behind you. Heaven has declared that the enemy's window of influence has closed. The warfare you once felt cannot continue into the next chapter. That is why this message found you now. That is why you felt drawn to it with such urgency. Heaven is announcing that your season has shifted. God waited until the enemy's access expired and then released your miracle with full force. My child, think of all the times you felt like you were on the edge of something new, but could not step into it. Think of how close you came to breakthroughs that slipped away. Think of the moments where you said, I feel something coming. That feeling was accurate, but the timing had not yet reached fullness. But now, the fullness has arrived. Heaven has aligned the timing of your miracle with the maturity of your spirit and the protection of your destiny. This is why God visited you now. Not before. Not later. But now. And hear this deeply, my beloved child. when heaven chooses a moment to visit someone, everything in their life begins to move. What once was stuck becomes fluid. What once was blocked becomes open. What once resisted you now welcomes you. Opportunities find you. Resources flow to you. People who are meant for your destiny appear. Doors swing open that no human hand can close. This is what happens when God steps into a life at the appointed hour. My beloved child, you have entered that hour. You have stepped into that moment. The timing of your miracle is perfect because it was chosen by the one who sees beyond what you see. It is chosen by the one who loves you beyond what words can describe. My beloved child, prepare your heart, for what I am about to release into your spirit will reach into your future and reshape it. The miracle that has arrived in your life is not a small blessing, not a short moment of relief, not a temporary shift. No, my child. This miracle carries the power to transform the next 7 years of your life. 7 years of change. 7 years of restoration. 7 years of elevation. 7 years of divine alignment. Heaven is not touching you for a moment. Heaven is touching your entire future. My child, for a long time, you have lived in a cycle that seemed to repeat itself. Season after season, you felt the same patterns return. You moved from hope to disappointment, from excitement to discouragement, from clarity to confusion. It felt like every time you moved 2 steps forward, something pushed you 3 steps back. You wondered why nothing seemed to last, why progress felt so fragile, why breakthroughs slipped through your fingers as quickly as they arrive. But hear this truth deeply. That cycle is ending today. The miracle that has entered your life is not coming to visit a moment. It is coming to rewrite a chapter. It is coming to break patterns, disrupt cycles, and establish a new rhythm in your life. The next 7 years will not look like the years behind you. Heaven has drawn a line in the spirit and declared, this far and no further. The pain that traveled with you ends here. The struggle that clung to you ends here. The silence, the waiting, the stagnation ends here. The miracle assigned to you carries longevity, stability, and divine protection. What heaven is giving you now is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is not unstable. It is built to last because it is built by the hands of God. My beloved child, the next 7 years of your life will carry a level of favor you have never experienced before. Doors that were once difficult will now open on their own. Opportunities you once had to chase will now pursue you. People who once overlooked you will now recognize the oil on your life. The blessing coming upon you is not small. It is generational. It is deep. It is wide. It is intentional. It is structured in a way that influences your family, your environment, your future, and even the people you haven't met yet. You will see restoration in places you thought were beyond repair. Relationships that were broken will either be healed or replaced with better ones. Wounds that lingered for years will close completely. The heaviness that lived inside your heart will lift. Your mind will settle. Your emotions will stabilize. You will find yourself walking into peace that does not make sense to the natural mind. Peace that follows you like a shadow. peace that becomes your atmosphere. My child, you will notice a new confidence rising inside you. Not arrogance, not pride, but holy confidence. A strength that says, I know who walks with me. I know what has been promised to me. I know the future heaven has written for me. That confidence will draw the right people, the right opportunities, and the right alignments toward you. And hear this, the next 7 years will be marked by provision. Unexpected provision. Divine provision. You will see doors of financial stability begin to open. Ideas will come. Solutions will flow. Strategies will become clear. The miracles entering your life will not only bless you spiritually, but also practically. Heaven understands the needs of your life, the responsibilities on your shoulders, and the dreams inside your heart. This miracle touches all of them. There will also be an increase of spiritual sensitivity. You will hear God more clearly. You will sense things in the spirit before they happen. You will recognize divine direction without confusion. This clarity will guide you into decisions that will shape your next 7 years with precision. You will no longer wander. You will no longer feel lost. You will move with intention, wisdom, and Holy Spirit guidance. My beloved child, the next 7 years will also carry divine protection. The pain that visited your past will not follow you into your future. The fears that haunted you will begin to dissolve. The threats that once intimidated you will lose their power. The miracle arriving in your life builds a hedge around you. A shield. A covering. A supernatural barrier that keeps what is not sent by God from entering your life. And perhaps the most beautiful part of what is coming, my child, is the joy. Not fleeting joy. Not fragile joy. Not momentary joy. But deep joy. Joy that sits in the soul. Joy that flows without interruption. Joy that rises each morning even before you speak. Joy that reminds you that God has walked into your story and decided to stay. 7 years of transformation. 7 years of rebuilding. 7 years of healing. 7 years of rising. This is the miracle that has arrived. My beloved child, now come with a quiet heart, for what I am about to speak is sacred. Heaven has already released the miracle. The angels have already positioned themselves around you. The next 7 years have already been shaped with favor, restoration, and divine alignment. But there is something heaven always does, a principle woven into the fabric of the spiritual realm. Every miracle, no matter how fully prepared, responds to an instruction. Not an instruction of labor, not an instruction of fear, not an instruction of striving, but an instruction of alignment. And today, heaven desires to place that instruction gently into your hands. My beloved child, the instruction is simple, yet powerful. Open your heart fully. This miracle will not be activated by stress or effort. It will not require you to fight, push, or prove anything. But it does require your heart to release the weight it has carried for too long. So many miracles remain dormant in people's lives, not because God withheld them, but because their hearts were too full of yesterday to receive tomorrow. Your instruction now is to release the grip of what has wounded you, burdened you or lingered in your spirit long after its time. Forgive where you have been holding bitterness. Let go of the disappointments that replay themselves in your mind. Allow your spirit to exhale, to soften, to breathe again. You do not need perfect words. You do not need perfect faith. You simply need a willing heart. The miracle is already in motion. It only needs a place to land. And that landing place is your willingness to let God clear the old so He can fill you with the new. My child, another part of this instruction is trust. Trust the process heaven has already started. Trust the timing. Trust the unfolding. The enemy's greatest attempt in your life has always been to break your trust. Trust in God. Trust in yourself. Trust in the future. Because trust is the bridge between your promise and your manifestation. When you trust, heaven moves freely. When you distrust, heaven must slow its movement. Today, choose trust again. Not blind trust, but intentional trust. Trust that God truly has stepped into your story. Trust that the miracle truly has arrived. Trust that the next 7 years will carry the hand of God in ways you've never experienced. My beloved child, the third part of your instruction is to speak life. Your words are seeds, and your miracle responds to what you declare. If you speak fear, you empower fear. If you speak doubt, you strengthen doubt. But if you speak life, consistently, intentionally, boldly, you nourish the miracle already released. You not speak from your wounds, speak from your destiny. You not speak from your past, speak from your promise. Wake each morning with words of expectation. Even simple words such as, I am ready. I am aligned. The miracle has arrived. These declarations shape the atmosphere around you. And finally, my child, there is a quiet instruction heaven places gently before you. Walk forward. Do not pause in fear. Do not overthink. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Begin moving with the certainty that something holy is unfolding around you. When you take steps in faith, the path will appear beneath your feet. When you act with confidence, the provision will meet you at the moment you need it. This is not a season to hesitate. This is a season to advance. Heaven does not ask you to force anything. Heaven only asks you to align yourself with what God has already done. Your heart, your trust, your words, and your willingness to move forward. These are the vessels that carry the miracle from the unseen into the seen. My beloved child, take a breath and let these words settle inside you. The instruction is not heavy. It is gentle. It is not burdensome. It is freeing. It does not drain you. It uplifts you. Heaven is not demanding something from you. Heaven is preparing something for you. And your spirit is now ready to walk in alignment with it. My beloved child, come gently into this last moment with me, for the presence that has carried you through each part of this message is still resting upon you. There is a quiet holiness surrounding you right now, a tender stillness, as though heaven itself is leaning close. You have walked through revelation after revelation, and your spirit is no longer the same. The miracle has arrived. The battles behind you have lost their power. The next 7 years of your life have been set apart for transformation, elevation, and restoration. And now, As we come to the end of this message, heaven desires to seal everything that has been spoken over you. My child, may peace settle upon you like a warm covering. May strength rise within you like a gentle tide. May clarity fill your mind, hope fill your chest, and courage steady your steps. You are not stepping forward alone. The angel who guided you here walks with you. The hand of God surrounds you. The miracle goes before you, opening the doors you once feared would remain closed. Every word spoken into your spirit today is taking root, taking form, and taking flight in your life. And as heaven seals this moment, my beloved child, let your heart respond. When God sends a word this meaningful, it is a sacred act to lift it, honor it, and carry it into the world. Let this message not remain only in you. Allow it to move through you. When you help this message rise, you help the work of heaven reach another heart that is waiting for its own sign, its own miracle, its own moment of divine awakening. Let your support become a quiet offering, a gentle act of faith, a reflection of the gratitude within you. My beloved child, may this miracle unfold swiftly, beautifully, and fully in your life. Amen.